Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Chiquis and Chill, your favorite podcast. And talking about favorites, I have one of my favorite people in the whole wide world here with me today. And I think you guys might know him. If you don't, you're going to get to know him today. His name is Johnny Angel. Woo!
Hi.
El Cinco. Thank you for coming, Papa.
Thank you for having me again.
I love you.
This is what, my third podcast?
Yes.
This is the first time we do it like in person.
Yes.
And it's really, really different.
It's different, huh?
I like
it's different. I love it. People like to watch the podcast, and then I like to listen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a listener because I like to do it like while I'm working out and stuff like that. But there are a lot of people that are enjoying the video, so thank you so much, because I was like, okay, everyone that I had on the first three seasons.
How long was I telling you needed to do that?
A long time. You were telling me for a while, like, okay, you need to do visual, but I wanted to just get like acclimated and like just used to it. And we did the first 2 seasons. And it was awesome, and I'm so grateful. So that's why I'm like, okay, people that were on the first 2 seasons, I want to bring them back in here on the set.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
awesome. So thank you, John. And well, we have big news.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny's pregnant. No, I'm just kidding. Well, guys, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have already like noticed, right? A little bit maybe on social media, but we're officially going to talk about Johnny moving out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys. I don't even know where to start with this. I might get emotional, so please just be aware. Disclaimer. So Johnny moved out more than a month ago now, and he has his own apartment, and he lives 15 minutes away from the house.
Yeah. 10 with no traffic.
Yeah, 10 with no traffic. And I love where he lives. I actually was looking at that place where he lives right now. But anyways, he moved out and it was very difficult. How do you feel, actually, before we move on to the details? How do you feel right now?
I think I'm like going through like one of the biggest shifts in my life, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm like, just as a person, as a human being, like my own.
You did tell me that the other day on the phone.
My own journey and everything. I just I just for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm really truly just trying to I don't want this to sound wrong in any way, but I feel like I'm just trying to like figure out who I am without my siblings for the first time. And it's very, very strange. Like I'm realizing just how like I have a very few things in my life, and I realize like how I'm actually pretty simple.
Yeah.
You know, like I realize that I like cooking. I like cooking and cleaning a lot, and I was gonna say I owe you an apology, because now I understand like what you were always trying to do with me, especially the battle with the trash all the time.
Yes.
But in my defense though, one thing could be wrong and it'll ruin your whole fucking day sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. You know what? It's because for me, and I'll tell you guys, I don't like repeating myself. I need to work on that. And Emilio has taught me that. It's like, I'm like, dude, I've said it so many times. I just do it, you know, and I'll just get in a bad mood. But yeah, to me, I'm like, Johnny, just take out the damn trash. Please bring in the trash cans, because
it honestly, for like the last 4 or 5 years though, it wasn't because I didn't want to or anything. It was just like I genuinely would slip my mind.
Yeah, I get it.
But now that I'm in my own place, I'm like you. I like everything clean, dude. Like I realize how much I am your kid. Like, because things that you like about your house is the way I like them. Like I'm realizing that.
When I went to visit you, I've been to his apartment one time, and when I went, I was like, oh my God, I was looking in the fridge. I looked in I'm just like scoping things out. I'm a big sister. I'm nosy. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of him. And like, I was just like, dude, everything is just in its place. It was nice and clean. It smelled good. Like it felt airy. I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you, because it wasn't an easy decision. You know, I definitely struggled with it. I thought I was ready. I was like, okay, I think Johnny's ready. And I didn't know how to bring it up to you for so long, because it was something that was in my heart. But then I was like, but I don't want him to leave. Like, I'm not ready for it.
I was thinking about it like while I was working out today. I think more than anything, what I was really waiting for was to feel safe leaving you. Because there's a lot of things that like I feel like only I would see sometimes.
Because we lived together for like our whole lives.
I felt like your second pair of eyes.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
And you know, like just a lot of changes you made. Like I've never felt safer, like just being in a different place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel completely safe, like leaving you with Emilio.
Yeah.
Like, and I can I don't think I've ever really been able to say that before.
I know. You know that I'm in good hands.
Yeah, and then even then, like, you know, with Miss Kimberly over here, like, it's just everything.
Miss Kimberly's my new assistant over here.
Everything just feels like right.
It feels peaceful.
I mean? Yeah.
And it definitely does. It definitely does. It feels different in the house. I walk, like, okay, guys, let me just tell you, when we kind of like, we're talking about the idea for like a couple months, and we're like, okay, I know it's gonna happen. I was like, well, when is it gonna happen? I need to mentally prepare. And I knew 3 months before it was, you know, his official, I was like, hey, let's do until this month. And he was ready. He did everything on his own. I thought I was gonna go like with him to go see apartments and everything. Like you did it all by yourself.
Well, yeah,
I'm so proud of you.
To be honest, there was only like apartments I looked at like online, but I only saw one in person. And I loved it right away. So
yeah,
I'm like,
I'm the same way.
I think
you felt it.
Mm-hmm.
You felt it, and I know you're safe there. They have high security, which was like, to me, it's super important. He's good, but it was very hard. I cried so freaking much, you guys, and I realized, I'm like, why am I crying? I was like, I know this is what needs to happen, but it's still difficult. You know what I mean? And he's still my freaking kid. Like, it's just, I don't know.
There was so many things like I was getting deja vu with too. Like, there's an audio out there somewhere of mom talking about when Jackie moved out when she got married, and she heard Jayla's footsteps, and she realized that she wasn't going to hear Jayla's footsteps down the hall anymore. And then you said the same thing to me. I don't think
I didn't realize.
I don't think you even realized that.
I know. I texted him one night,
and like I was just getting so much deja vu, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then I remember the first time it really hit me. I think it was like 2 days after I got approved for the application. I was at a birthday party. And it just hit me out of nowhere, and I had to go outside because I started crying. I started like really, really crying, and I opened my phone, and somebody had posted the scene from Chiquis and Control where mom was asking you to move out. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what's happening? What's God trying to tell me right now? You know? And I know it was definitely like the right decision, and more than anything, I really feel like I'm in a good place, but also I think. You know how I've told you before that I feel like you haven't had a kid because you kind of like have like mentally rejected it.
Mm-hmm.
You know
like we've talked about it here on the podcast. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh no, like I have this, like, it's crazy because we're gonna talk about that because that's exactly what happened. It made me step into a different part of my life where now I'm like, okay, I feel the same way. My it's work so here is not done because I worry about all of you guys, and I'm always going to be here to guide you, but I feel like, okay, he's off and he's flying and he's good, and like I see you self-sustaining right now. Yes, you're self-sustaining, you're flying with your own wings, and I see it. Like, I feel at peace. I'm like, I know he's good. You're in a very good place, and I'm so happy. It was very hard because it was kind of like a huge part of my identity. Mm-hmm. Having you at the house and caring for you and being your mom, it was a part of my survival mode. It was part of my survival, you guys, literally.
It still is. It's just not on a daily basis anymore. Right. You know what I mean? It's like a little bit more detached, which isn't a bad thing. You know, mm-hmm. It's just, I think we're learning to live in a different way, and like as scary as it was for both of us, like I'm really proud of us. You know?
Yeah, I am. I'm very proud of us. I think that everything. Right now, certain things are happening, but I feel like the dust is settling. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like things are falling into place. I don't know. It feels good.
And I don't know if you've talked about that yet, but like that news you shared with me is really, really dope.
About what?
About your little...
The IVF.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did. We talked about it we talked about it. And it's a really nice episode. I told people because, you know, they've been following me on this journey. But yes, I did. And it's just all happening.
It happened, all just happened. Like a week later?
It happened like a week later.
I told you.
Where I got the news. But yeah, I mean, and you know what? And going back to you moving out, because I don't want to forget, I saw a comment. I don't know if I saw the comment or you told me about the comment, but anyways, there was a comment out there that said, why did it take you so long to move out, Johnny? Like, why didn't you do it before? And I think the main thing is because you felt safe. You felt like, mm-hmm. I'm ready as a person, and...
It was both of us.
It was both. Yeah, it was a mutual decision.
I think we both feel really responsible for one another.
Yes, absolutely. You know? And yeah, because also people want to know, like, if was there an issue, did we fight? And we didn't.
Yeah.
There's no, like, nothing bad happened. It was just we were both ready. It's something I had been praying about, and I felt like God and my mom were putting in my heart. Like, he needs to learn responsibility, like having his own place, and it's going to help your relationship. And I just didn't want to. I was like, how? Like, I was fighting it.
Mm-hmm.
And then God put it in your heart.
And I know also just like I needed to, I think I've, well, thank God I've never missed a payment on my car or my credit card or anything. But also it's just made me, it's just made me way better at saving money, if I'm being completely honest. Like, it's not like, I don't know, something about like just having your own space. It really just, it does something to you.
Absolutely.
It does something to you. And I just, I've been doing my best to be more responsible, in the last 3-4 years with my money. But like now it's just, it's different. I'm better than I've ever been this last month.
I'm so fucking proud of you, man. Now that you're living on your own, because Jackie and I, we had this conversation, Jackie, my sister, about him moving out, and we went back and forth. We're like, okay, like, should he get a townhouse? Should he get a condo? But I was like, he's never lived on his own. I want him to know what it is to like buy his groceries and pay the bills and the whole thing. And I've never really worried about you. I really haven't. Like, I've always known he's going to be okay. I've been so confident in the way that I raised you that now to see, I'm like, see, you guys, there was really nothing to worry about. But I did want, and I told Jackie, I said, I think we need to let him live in an apartment for at least 6 months to a year.
I almost got a house.
Yeah, because it's like, that's a house is a huge responsibility, property taxes. And if you get a townhouse, you have HOA, and it's just like a lot more. But how do you feel now that you have your space? Do you feel like you're going to stay in your space for a while, or do you want something bigger? I
think so. Honestly, like I was realizing that's another point, is I'm also realizing just how like I'm actually pretty minimal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I like being like that. Like, my space is, I think it's a pretty good size, but it's not the biggest thing in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
but it feels like it hugs you.
Yeah,
I love it in there.
Like,
the energy's so nice.
I feel like a lot of people would probably expect me to be like in a very luxurious, like big space or something like that. Yeah. But I think it's pretty simple.
I think it's great.
And I feel like, you know, when I eventually get a house in the future, whether it be like 3 or 4, however long, 3 or 4 years, I think it's actually going to be like a pretty minimal space. You know what I mean? I'm realizing I don't need a lot. Yeah. You know? And I mean, I was going through the same thing as you, cleaning out my freaking closet. I'm like, how do I have so much shit? Like, for what fucking
for no reason. I know.
And I wear the same shit all the time.
Yeah. Same shoe.
I have so much shoes that I don't wear, but I like to hold on to in case of anything.
In case or because of a sentimental, like, it has sentimental value. I know. I have this, but it feels good to declutter.
I have this shirt that I still didn't let go of. I let go of some stuff, but there's this shirt that from like the week mom passed, where they put her picture. Like it had like a blue thing. It was like a memoriam.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes. I wore it a lot.
You still have that?
Yeah, and it has like a tear in
yes,
the hole.
You do. Yeah, so you.
And I just can't let go of that because it just.
If you wear it, you're fine. If you're just keeping it, just keep wearing it. As long as you're wearing it, you're totally fine. Because that's what I told myself.
My dad's shirts that we've had for fucking 15 years.
Yeah.
The ones from his memorial, the white one with his image.
Yes, you have. I know those. Oh, which one you're wearing? Kind of looks like. Oh, okay, I thought it was. Yeah, okay, yeah.
This is a Kanye one.
Yeah. Well, no. See, that's the thing. Like, it's also very good for you to like. You don't even have to just throw it out. Like, you can donate it. That makes you feel good. As well. But I do like the fact that, like, where you live, like we said, it's central, and like you've always been very. Like, you grew up a little secluded, you know, because you were like mom was already Jenny Rivera, like when she was coming up and, you know, the peak of her career. And so you've always like lived like in Norco. When we had our house in Norco, like it was just, we didn't really go out, and then we lived in Encino. It's always been like very secluded. So I always wanted this for you where you're just a young man, and you're able to walk around on the streets.
I started realizing that about myself when we started living in Selmar.
That's when you were going on your runs.
I loved how just close everything felt. Like something was just down the street, a quick drive. You know what I mean? Just opening the gate.
That's fun.
And but now I love walking everywhere. Like it's helping me get my walking in, and it's so convenient. I realized that I was definitely like that kind of person when I went to New York.
I was gonna tell you
in 2021, and I realized like I like how like everything is just so close. Like it feels like
it's cool. That's what I when I experienced that at Emilio's place in downtown LA. that's why I didn't want us to like let go of that place,
Mhm.
because he's been living with us for so long, or with me now, not with us because you don't live there anymore, but living with me at the house for so long. Like I used to love going there because it's like we would walk to get our little smoothie and like
Right.
just have a salad, and it just felt, it was a different type of like feeling.
Yeah.
And I love that, like walking the dogs, going to the dog park, and it's like I'm like, oh my God, it just makes you feel like, just, I don't know, just, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like grounded. I guess that's what it is. Grounded. It makes you feel grounded. So I'm happy that you're experiencing that. That's what Emilio wanted for you so bad. He's like, he needs to be a kid, Janae. Like, I'm like, okay, I know.
That being said, though, like the older I'm getting, I realize like why, like people move out to like Temecula or Corona, like more like secluded places.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think eventually I'm probably gonna have something like that.
Yeah, because I'm not a city girl. Like I'm more of like, I like to just be like chill. I'm more of like a southern, or what's the word, suburb, type of chick. But I like the city once in a while. But I wanted you to experience that, like for you to be out there. And I love the fact they're like, oh, you know, everything's across the street and boom, boom, boom. You know,
I save so much on gas.
And are people coming over, like your friends and stuff?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, that's
like,
good.
It's cool to be able to. I mean, like I always wouldn't. I would ask you for permission, but like now I can tell people like, oh, if you ever need a place to crash, like you have, like my couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I make sure like I tell, especially like my friends who come from out of town. And stuff like
that couch is comfy. I got him a couch. That was my home warming gift to him. A couch.
It was a good.
It's really nice.
I've fallen asleep on that couch.
Yeah, it's comfy. It's a comfy one. Cause dude, imagine. I was thinking about this the other day because I got a white couch. Now that you're not there, I got a white couch. Okay, yeah, you haven't seen it. So I got a white. I would have been. I'm like, cause I'm anal, you guys. Like I realized I'm kind of anal. So I was like, oh my God, pobrecito Johnny. He would have been like, oh my God, can I even sit here? But now you have your own fucking couch to do whatever you want, have sex on it or whatever you want to do. Anyways, okay, so when you were looking for apartments, is there a reason why you chose like not to leave like far? Because I was a little worried. I was like, oh my God, he's gonna leave the valley and I'm gonna be sad. But I didn't want to put that pressure on you. But is there a reason why?
Well, definitely. I definitely needed to make sure like I was gonna stay close to you. You know what I mean? It's just it's comfortable knowing that you're down the street and like,
I was scared. I was scared that you were gonna like move like towards
down
Jackie a little bit or the office and stuff. But when you said, oh, I'm looking in the valley, I was like, oh my God. And now like you're in the same city basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, that's my dream. I've had this dream for like 2-3 years, like where we're gonna own like houses across the street or right next to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And our kids are gonna be able to play together.
I don't know if we've ever talked about this.
You know what's really I'm realizing is gonna be crazy.
What?
I feel like I'm gonna have kids like within 3-4 years.
Damn. Okay.
Maybe, I'm not sure. It's because also I want to be a young dad too.
Yeah. I see that for you.
I've always had that. So I'm thinking maybe 26, 27, depending on like where I'm at in my life.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing our kids are going to be pretty close in age. Like our firstborns.
Oh my God, yes. Like if I have a child,
that's like great. Soon? That's so unusual. You know what I mean?
That's kind of cool though. See, that's something I worry about. I was like, because Jackie said she's done having kids. Jenica doesn't know if she wants any. Mikey has his 2 daughters, but it's like if I have a baby, like I want my baby to grow up with like, you know, have like little, because I think I'm just gonna have one.
Yeah,
I really do feel that.
I gotta start having kids because my friends are having kids and like my kids are not gonna have any friends. So
don't have kids for that reason though.
I know.
It's a huge responsibility.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just,
okay.
I also just know that when I become a father one day, I'm gonna heal a lot within myself.
Yeah. I know stuff like, you mean like childhood stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That's same. Yeah.
Just you know, I just know I'm gonna fill a void within myself as like a father son. So.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Our little daddy issues and stuff.
I
have for sure. For me, it's mommy issues. You know, and how mom and I like. I feel like it's my chance and my opportunity to mend. I feel like I'm gonna have a little girl. I don't know, but whatever God wants.
I feel like surprised. I know it's like, it's always directly with like you like I said like with like let's say like with my son,
Mm-hmm.
I would be addressing like probably like daddy issues like you said. But I have a feeling I'm actually gonna like I'm gonna heal a lot with that I might not even realize with mom too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because just they passed 3 years apart, but those 3 years that like mom was still here,
mm-hmm.
it like I don't know, something shifted within her. You know what I mean? As a parent.
Yeah, as a parent.
And
Oh, for sure.
And especially the last year when you
she wanted to step in and like, yeah.
Yeah,
she was
very intentionally being a parent in her last year. Like before, it was very much about letting me like just do what I wanted, but now she was trying to give me like structure.
And that's one thing that when mom asked me to move out that March before she passed, that was one of the things that she said. She said, you know, I want you to fly with your own wings. I want you to go and experience the world, but I also want to step in and be a mom. And I want this home to feel like my home because for so long it's been yours. And the kids, if you're still here, are always going to go to you for things because they see you and they've been here and you've been here. But in order for me to be the mom that I want to be to these kids, I need you not to be here. And that was so like hard to hear, but I understood it. And I was like, shit. Which brings me back to the point.
But she's right though.
But she's right.
It's
she's absolutely right.
Because I can say that, like, you know, as the kid in question, you know, I would do that. Like, like I know mom would like spoil me or anything, but like I would be more inclined to go to you sometimes.
Or vice versa. Yeah. When I would be like, Johnny, you can't have this. And you'd be like, oh, I know mom will give it to me. And it was hard. It was hard for her. And I understand it so much. You know, and that's why I'm like, okay, because I didn't ask you to move out. Like, it was something, like I said, I had been praying about for a while. But when you came to me, like, because you said something that I was like, oh, I hadn't really thought about that. You'd be like, I just don't want you to feel like I'm being ungrateful. What did you mean by that?
Like, I just, I feel like how can I put it? It's like, I feel like we both kind of have like this sense of guilt a little bit, for like adapting to this particular change, if that makes sense. Like I sometimes feel like a little guilty because I'm enjoying myself so much, but I told someone that, but I miss you so much at the same time. You know what I mean? Like
I feel like at first you were kind of scared to tell me how happy you were. How like, because I just was it's so funny that you say that because I was expressing it to someone the other day. They were asking, oh, how does it feel without Johnny? And I'm like, and I was explaining it to them, and then I mentioned that I was like, I feel like he's really enjoying it, but he's barely starting to tell me like, I feel good. I guess you didn't want to hurt my feelings. Is that right?
No, but it's also like just I think we're just protective of each other. You know what I mean? Like you said like you told us on Christmas like or I think it was Thanksgiving that you were like kind of like jealous for us, like if you were gonna have kids. It's like that.
I see what you mean, because I said that because I was like, you guys better take advantage of me this year because I'm really thinking we're having kids, you know, at the end of like this year, and I want you guys to just take advantage because then once I have a baby, you guys aren't going to be the center of my world anymore. So I was just being all emotional. I was probably drinking. And yeah, because I'm like, I feel sometimes for so long I didn't want to have kids because I was jealous of like, I'm going to give this baby for you guys. I was jealous for you guys of like, oh my God, I'm going to give all my attention to my child. And then like, what if I forget about them? But I'm like, no, now I've healed that. And I'm like, no, I can love everyone. My heart is big enough to love to love my own children and still love you guys. But I was like, I felt it was weird. I felt jealous for you guys. It's the weirdest thing.
I think also it's just, well, I've always told you, like, I really need you to leave a part of yourself here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think, you know, there just needs to be some extension of you specifically, you know what I mean? So I just I know just like I try to love all the kids as much as I can and be a really good uncle, and you know, but I know I know your kid is just gonna be something so special to our family. Each of the kids have brought their own light. Have you?
For sure.
Like, they just
all of them.
They all shine in their own.
I love our little family.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
Like Jayla is the ringleader of all those kids.
Yeah. You know she's a good big sister and a good big cousin. She really is.
Yeah.
She's honestly, I'm very proud. I see all of them. I see you guys.
She is your goddaughter for sure.
For sure. That's my god, that for sure. I see her, I'm like, oh my God. Freaking little Jayla. I want you to know, Papa, that I'm so freaking proud of you. I'm listening to you speak, and I'm just like, you're so mature. You're in such a good place, and I prayed so much for this because for so long I was worried.
Yeah.
I was worried that you were so like spending so much time in your room, and I could just imagine like if you feel better, it's because I think your spirit was telling you for so long, like, I need to grow out of this room. And now you have your own space. And I want you not to feel guilty or to feel like you're going to hurt my feelings. I want to hear about everything that you're doing. And I love to see on your close friends, like that you're cooking and that you're enjoying your space because you deserve that. And it's not that I was doing anything wrong or that you were doing anything wrong, because the house feels different, and not necessarily because you were bad energy, because that's not what it is. It's just, it feels different. It feels just different. And I don't even know how to explain it, but I know that you're feeling what I'm feeling. And that means that it's the right thing. We have peace.
We're reflecting one another. I've realized
absolutely.
that a lot in the last month.
And I'm not worried about you, and I'm so proud of you. And I never, when people would be like, oh my God, Chiquis, like you shelter him, like you protect him too much, like you're so lenient. And I'm like, I know how to deal with your personality. I know the type of child you were, the type of man that you are now. That I'm like, I know that you're going to do great things. And this is as lost as you may feel, because you're like, where do I go from here? This is all a part. This is a huge milestone for you to thrive.
I think it's just like, I feel like for the first time I'm adding my own things into my life.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like I'm realizing like I have you guys always, but like apart from you guys, like I have like 2 best friends that I talk to on a regular basis, and I have more friends, but like, you know, like those close friends that like you have those deep conversations,
because we were your whole world for so long.
Exactly. So like now I'm realizing like, you know, like my circle is small. Like I want to make new friends and just like just expand my world a little bit. And you know, for the first time I just feel like I'm adding things into my life. It's so weird.
I think you're finally living. For so long, you went through so much, John, since you were little. You lost your dad at 9. You lost your mom at 11, at 8. So by the time you were 11 years old, you've been through so much. And
Jordan's that age.
That's crazy to think like you were so you were so young, and you had to go through so much. And then all of the aftermath that happened after mom passed and things that we're still dealing with, you had to grow up so fast. And not only that, you were Jenny Rivera's son. And you've always had to be like, okay, like you went to school in a different way than other kids. So to me, to see you like tell me this, I want to make new friends, because you were very antisocial for so long now. And to see you, I'm out, it's like, hey, I think I'm going to go here tonight. And I'm like, hell yeah, go have fun. Don't drink and drive. I'm always like, don't drink and drive. Call me, put on your seatbelt, take an Uber. I'm all about that. But I'm like, go live your fucking life, dude. Like, go have fun. This is the time to have fun, to enjoy yourself. And I love that you're doing it, because for so long I would worry. And that was one thing that Emilio would tell me. He's like, I want him to be a kid. I moved out at 23. And it's like, I did so much stuff. I did so many things. And it's like, this is the time. This is the time to do it. And you're doing it the right way. And I'm just like, I couldn't be more proud, to be quite honest with you. Like, you're fucking wise beyond your I've known that forever. You're so wise beyond your years.
Thank you.
And you're gonna be, and I don't know, you're gonna be just fine. Thank you. If you feel a little bit like, I'm not sure, what do I do from here? Like, you're gonna find out. That's how I felt when mom asked me. I was like, now what? Now what do I do with all this time on my hands? And like, it's gonna all fall into place.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Because like, it's so strange. It's just the weirdest phenomenon. But I mean, I don't know.
You're doing it at the right time, though.
Yeah, and I'm just I want to say like I'm really proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
I'm really proud of you, because it's you know, it hasn't been easy for any of us. But like, you took that role really really gracefully, despite everything that happened. And I commend you for that, because it's not easy to be that selfless. I think a lot of times, especially, you know, I was difficult. There's a lot of times you could have said, fuck these kids, I'm gonna live my own life or something. But you never did that. And
oh, John, I love you, man.
People can say whatever they want about me, but like, when it comes to you, I've just I've never been able to have peace with how negatively people can view you sometimes, because they don't realize that you've always been there. And I know I know my mom and my dad, they're so grateful for you. I know her especially, she's like, I'm so happy he's okay. You know? Because I know she worried about me a lot.
I know. She did. But like I told you, John, like I would go through it all over again if it meant that I would have you.
I would too.
Because you saved my life. You and Jenica, all of you really, and everything happened the way it was supposed to happen, and it was fucking hard, and I don't regret any of it. I would go through it all over again if it meant that I was gonna see you how I see you today. And now I feel like, okay, he's good. Now I can focus on having my own kids.
And I'm really excited for them to get here.
And I love you so much. And I learn from you every day. You're such a smart boy.
I love you.
I love you more. And you're welcome. And thank you. Thank you for coming. And yeah, guys, this is our life on a podcast.
My whole life's really been like on television. My whole life, like just
I know.
From the moment I was born.
I know, that's crazy. From the moment you were born, and you've handled it very well, because people can be very mean, and I think that you're doing a great job. And I do miss your footsteps. And there are times when I'm like, shit, I miss him. Just when you would come into the room and lay on the bed, and it hasn't been as easy as you think, but I feel like we're in the right place and it's the right thing happening. Yeah. So I don't want you to worry about me. Don't want you to worry. Okay? You. I'm good. And I love you more. And you guys, thank you for listening to this episode and watching this episode of Chiquis and Chill. Johnny, thank you so much. Do you want to share your social media for people that may not follow you already?
I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as the Great Cinco.
Yeah, the Great Cinco.
That's just a Gatsby thing.
Yeah. So you guys, thank you so much. I will see you, and I will catch you hopefully on the next episode. You guys, los quiero mucho, y ya saben, con Dios todo, sin el nada. This is a production of iHeartRadio and My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcasts, and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your favorite shows.